The first card you have for your past is the Seven of Cups. So yes, this card can be about confusion. It can be about confusing choices. It can be about, being kept in the dark, like this man is kept in the dark. So I'm seeing that, you were in a situation where things might have felt a little bit too good to be true at times. So this could be, I'm seeing this could be a love situation. I'm feeling a lot of highs and a lot of lows here. So when you're around this person, there were times where you felt as if you're almost on a high. Things were so amazing, but I think you knew in a way that this was a little bit unrealistic. So, you're on a high at times, you felt amazing. And then there were times where things didn't quite add up. So you came out of this time where you're feeling amazing, and you kind of stood back and thought, well, wait a minute, they've said that doesn't add up, or they've done that doesn't sound true. I'm not sure about this. So that was what I was seeing. And, you were seeing the reality of what was happening when when you stepped out of the highs. And it was almost as if you kind of didn't want to see the reality of it. It was like you didn't want to come down from this high. I mean, who wants to come down from a high? Nobody. That's why substances, or even people and things like that. That's why all of these things can be so addictive, even gambling or whatever, anything. Things can be very, very addictive because people love that feeling. They keep wanting to chase it. They don't want to lose it. So, you did take a step back from this, like the man in this card, and you started to see that, things that were being said or being done or whatever was not really very good for you as well. Because some of these cups, if you look at these cups, some of them are full of castles, beautiful women, jewelry, amazing things. But other things are full of dragons and snakes and horrible things. So a lot of what was being offered to you or promised to you was actually an illusion. You weren't seeing the snakes, you weren't seeing the bad, you were seeing the beautiful things. But actually, there were a lot of illusions around this. Someone might have been lying to you, someone might have been hiding things from you. And I think you only saw that when you took a step back. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have, your past, is Strength. So yes, you did distance yourself from this. You distance yourself from this person I'm seeing, this relationship and this situation. There were so many times when you wanted to go back. It was almost as if you were addicted. You're addicted to the feeling of being around them when things were good with them. That's what I'm seeing. It was like, they put some kind of spell on you or something like that, but it wasn't like that. They didn't have a spell on you. It was that, when you're experiencing this amazing high with them, you just didn't want to lose that. You loved that feeling. You'd never experienced anything like that before, and you wanted to keep on feeling that, and that's totally understandable. I can see why you were feeling like that. So there were so many times where you just wanted to go back, but your mind knew that you needed to keep away from this person, even for your own mental health. You just couldn't keep on going back to this person. You had to keep away from them. This is about you soothing yourself, talking to yourself, taking care of yourself, taming yourself, stopping yourself from running back again to this person. So of course it wasn't easy. It was not easy, but each time you resisted going back, you became stronger. You became stronger and stronger, and you were growing within yourself, growing bigger and stronger. That's what you were doing. I mean, if you look at this woman and this lion, they're way bigger than the scenery behind them or around them. They're getting bigger and bigger. And when children grow, they can have growing pains, but it's for the best. So that's what you were going through. You were going through a lot of pain. You were going through a lot of struggles. You really wanted to go back. It was like they were a magnet, and you had to really pull yourself back from them. But each time you resisted, you became stronger, you were growing, and you were getting through this hurt. It was very hard, I know, but you were getting through this. So the last card you have for your past is the Hierophant. So yes, the longer you're away from this person, the clearer things became in your mind. You really started to see what they were actually really like. I'm looking at this card. There are two monks in this card. they're searching for truth, and they've found it at the feet of the Hierophant. They're looking at this religious figure and they're saying, show me the truth, tell me the meaning of life, tell me the answers. I'm here, I'm listening, and I want to learn. And you're finding out, or you were at this time, you're finding out the truth. You're finding out what was going on. And yes, you'd come out of this confusion in the Seven of Cups, and now you're able to see things a lot clearly. You are seeing the truth. Sometimes the truth is very harsh. It's very hard to see, but it's necessary for you. And yes, you're still in a lot of pain. I'm seeing that, but this is what was best for you, and your mind knew that. So the first card you have, your present, is the Knight of Cups. Right, danger. Okay, this person could be trying to contact you, or they could be trying to connect with you in some way at this time. If they're not now, they might be doing that soon. So just be aware of that. Now, the wings on this knight's helmet, they symbolize messages, they symbolize movement, flying through the air, coming to you. And this knight looks like he's kind of perfect, like a knight in shining armor. He looks perfectly groomed. But quite often knights in shining armor can be a myth. Now, I'm not saying there aren't great people out there. There aren't great partners. Yes, there are some amazing people, of course, out there for you. But nobody is perfect. There is not a perfect person. There are great people, there are fantastic people, but not one person on this earth is perfect. So if you see perfection, be very careful. There is no such thing. That's what I'm seeing in this card. So you are learning that as you're growing in the Strength card. You could see that this person was not perfect. And also, I'm seeing this person can put on a bit of a facade. Everything looks very shiny on the surface, but actually it isn't like that on the inside. So what I'm seeing with this person is they don't feel good about themselves on the inside. And this is probably why they're not honest. People who aren't honest, people who try to big themselves up, who try to make themselves better than they actually are, feel bad about themselves on the inside. Now, I'm not making an excuse for this person. I'm not saying that, oh, they should go out and lie because the poor person feels bad about themselves. No, I'm not saying that, because there are a lot of people who feel bad about themselves and they don't do that behavior. But I'm saying this is why they felt like they had to kind of put on a show, put on a facade, go along, pretend there was something else, pretend they were better than they were. So this person was hiding who they actually were. And they felt that who they were was not good enough. They still feel like that. They're still posing around like this knight in shining armor. So, yes, the only way they're going to stop their behavior is to try and address how they feel about themselves. And that's really up to them to do. It's very sad, actually, but it's something they're going to have to do by themselves. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your present is the Nine of Wands. So yes, I'm seeing that if they do contact you, and I'm seeing that they probably will if they haven't already, you're probably not going to respond to them, or you're not going to talk to them. That's what I'm seeing. You've been through so much with this person. You've been through a lot with this person. You've grown so much as a person. I'm not seeing you wanting to go backwards again. You just don't want to go back all over again, back to square one and start all over again and have to go through this whole process again. You just don't want to do that again. You have your wall up against this person. Now, you might be peeping out like this man, but you're not coming out. And I'm hearing the word, I'm hearing mind games, 2 words, mind games. This person could have really messed with your mind, actually. And yes, look at the bandage on this man's head. He's had his head messed with, obviously. He has a bandage around his head. So I think there might be a part of you that wants to see what they're doing, what they're up to, that kind of thing. They're a really, really difficult person to try and shake off. I can see that. But I'm not seeing you going back. And, they're actually hurt. They're hurt themselves, but they're hurt by their own actions. They've treated other people in the same way that they've treated you in the past. I'm seeing that as well. And they're in a lot of pain themselves, but they've done this to themselves. They're in more pain than you realise. You might think that they're happy-go-lucky, walking up and down like the Knight of Cups, but they're not. They're in a lot of pain inside themselves. And they've caused this to themselves. I keep on seeing that, and they know this, and the only person that's going to bring them out of this is themselves. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have, your present, is the King of Pentacles. So yes, there could be some career success or some money success or something like that coming to you, but you're going to have to concentrate. You're going to have to work on whatever this is very hard. You're going to have to kind of do a lot of work on this. I'm seeing some planning. I keep on seeing concentration. So you're going to have to really concentrate. So what this is telling me is that this is coming at the perfect time for you, because there's no way that you would be able to concentrate on whatever this is if you have this person around you. So you know that going back to this person is not going to help you in your own life, on your own path. You need that concentration, you need that clarity, you need to be able to plan what you want to do to take advantage of this opportunity or the situation that's coming for you. And yes, you can't do that. You can't concentrate with this person around you. You know that. Yes, the first card you have for your future is the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, here we are. Things are going to change for you, especially financially. I'm seeing that. But in the Wheel of Fortune, yes, the Wheel of Fortune could be a little bit like what goes up, what must come down, that kind of thing. I don't mean that, your finances are going to come up and down, but when you see this opportunity come up, please grab it. Please make the most of, what you have when make the most of it. Work with it. If it means that, this opportunity is there, but you're going to have to either study, or you're going to have to do some training, or you're going to have to do some research, or you're going to have to do something, please do that. Don't sit and see this opportunity and say, well, I've got this opportunity, but it means I'm going to have to do that hard thing, and I really don't. Don't be like that. Please take advantage of that. This wheel, it could spin in your direction, but if you don't grab the opportunity and make the best of it, it can spin back around again. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. This is to encourage you to grab what you can when you see it. So the other thing I'm seeing in this card is someone who, this can be like a karmic cycle, this Wheel of Fortune. So I'm seeing someone who has to learn things, and they keep on making the same mistakes, so they have to relearn and relearn and relearn. This is probably this person in the Seven of Cups. This is this ex or this person who you're not going back to. Yes, I'm seeing that the way they've treated you is the way they've treated other people in the past, and sadly they're probably going to continue to treat other people like this in the future, because they haven't learned, they haven't gotten inside themselves, they haven't healed, they haven't dealt with whatever this feeling is inside themselves that's telling them they're not good enough. So they're going along on their great big wheel of destruction, kind of bulldozing over new people. It's very sad, actually. But yes, this mixture of dishonesty and this feeling of not being good enough is very, very bad. It's very destructive. The only person that's going to be able to help them is themselves. They will eventually learn this, but they're going to hurt a few people in the way in the future. It's very sad, but that's what I'm seeing. And that means they're going to continue to hurt themselves as well and feel worse and worse every time until they break this cycle. Only they can do this. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have, your future, is the Eight of Swords. So yes, this person's still going to be trapped in a cycle. They're going to be trapped in a cycle, doing the bad thing, feeling bad about themselves, moving on, doing another thing to someone else, feeling bad about themselves again, all of that kind of thing. They could see what was going on inside themselves, but they can't. They have their blindfold up and they just think, no, I'm just going to go on to the next person and pretend everything's fine, and I'm going to go to the next and the next. And that's what they're doing. They are not able to break out of this at this time, but you can. You're not trapped to them anymore. You were trapped to them in the past. It felt good. It felt like you're on a high for a lot of the time, but you were trapped. You were trapped. You're not going to be trapped anymore. You can move forward. You can take the opportunities that are coming to you, especially financial opportunities. You're not trapped to them anymore. Please make the most of it. The last card you have for your future is the Four of Wands. I love this card. This is fantastic. Look at this. This is reflecting what I was seeing in the King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. 1111. Look at this. Please walk through these gates. Please take this opportunity that's coming to you. There are two women on the other side of this beautiful canopy with roses all over it. Red roses also represent manifestation. They'll welcome you. You probably can't see, now you can. So they'll welcome you. They're on the other side and they're saying, come through, please come through. We've got this great opportunity for you. We're waving to you. We're waving our flowers to you. Please come through. This is 1111. When these gates open, when you see this opportunity come up, please take advantage and move through these gates.